Well, the UFC returns to England on Saturday for UFC 304 with 2 belts on the line. The main event features Leon Edwards defending his welterweight belt. Edwards is a -240 favorite. And then in the co-main event, we got Tom Aspinall defending his interim heavyweight title against Curtis Blaydes. Aspinall is a heavy -390 favorite. For more on this card, here's Joe and Ian.
Well, Aaron was unwilling to grow any facial hair over the summer siesta, so I'm going to turn to Ian Parker because I'm not doing this alone. He's got a beautiful beard, and he's willing to join us here on the show. We're going to visit with Ian twice this week, so stay tuned. We got picks galore. Ian, welcome as always. We appreciate the time. This card is over in England. We bring that up for the second time because while it starts at 10 p.m. Eastern here on the East Coast, in Manchester, England, that's 3 a.m. local time for the main card. How does that affect the handicap here?
Well, that's a great question, Tom Selleck from Blue Bloods. You know what? It really depends on how early you get there. I spoke with Belal Muhammad, who's fighting for the title's #1 contender, and he told me he's not bothered by it because he's just going by the same time as he fought when he trains normally on the East Coast. So he's going to do that. Now, I think actually the guys who are at home, it's a disadvantage because they are not used to this time frame. So most of these fighters are going to have to go there and adjust. It's not like elevation, but when your body is not used to training or fighting in the wee hours of the night, that's a tough thing to do. So most of these guys will get there 1 or 2 weeks early. They'll really try to acclimate. I don't think it's going to be much of a problem, but it is something to keep an eye out for.
And let's remember the fans in all this as well. Pace yourself, Manchester. Pace yourself. Speaking of Belal Muhammad, main event against Leon Edwards. He's been waiting for this for a long time. Here's my concern. Muhammad fought 10 times in a 4-year stretch from 2019 to 2022. He was one of the most active fighters in the UFC, but he's only fought once in the last 21 months, and he hasn't fought in over a year. How do you see the layoff affecting him here?
Joe, this is one of the fighters in the whole world. I mean, there's probably a handful of them, but he is someone who literally trains every single day. He could have done this fight 2 months ago, 3 months ago. He's been ready. He doesn't stop. He helps out his other teammates. He corners guys. His cardio's through the roof. I mean, he's in the best shape of his life. And, you know, he's fighting someone, Leon, who's also not the most active fighter. But for Belal, Joe, this was a smart move. If he would have gone in there and risked it against a Shavkat or against an Usman and lost, he wouldn't be getting this title shot that he so very much deserves after a 10-fight win streak. And when these two fought the first time, round 1, it was not going his way. There's no doubt about it. But we've seen so many comebacks in the last 2 or 3 years. And then he got a nasty eye poke. Fight ended in a no contest. Both guys have evolved. Both have improved. He is someone, though, the weight was a smart thing to do, and it will not impact him the slightest bit. He is constantly training around the clock.
Yeah, gruesome eye poke in the first fight a few years ago, which was at the Apex during COVID, so there was no crowd in attendance for that one. And that was before Leon became champion, which our boy Teddy Atlas always says, once you become champion, you become 15, 20% better almost automatically because of what it does to the mindset. Interim heavyweight title fight. Co-main event, nothing but Tom Aspinall money since the market opened at around -210. He's now up to -390. That implies an 80% chance of victory. Do you see Aspinall having an 80% chance of winning this fight against Curtis Blaydes?
Yeah, let's put some respect on this. I think it's just the undisputed heavyweight champ. That's no disrespect to John Jones, but Tom Aspinall is the rightful champ here. He's fighting someone in Curtis Blaydes. Also a rematch. Tom got injured, but Aspinall, in my opinion, is the most complete heavyweight since Cain Velasquez. He's got great groundwork, black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got unbelievable striking. He's got the size. He moves like a middleweight. He's a tough guy to stop. The only way he loses this fight, in my opinion, is if we see another freak injury. Curtis Blaydes is an excellent wrestler, but we've seen him in the past. He's got knocked out by Ngannou. He got knocked out by Derek Lewis. The wrestling becomes a little predictable, and Jalton Almeida took him down at ease when you and I were watching this in Miami. So I think Tom Aspinall is every bit of that percentage to win and to get it done inside the distance. A little spoiler alert, we're going to go with Aspinall.
Nice. Last one for today before we talk later in the week. You know the people love Paddy the Baddie, Paddy Pimblett. He finds himself, however, as an underdog here for the first time in his 6-fight UFC history. How big a step up in class is this fight against King Green?
You know what? I like you used his new name. He is a king, isn't he? I think this is a little bit of a lateral slight increase in competition from Jared Gordon, who I thought beat Paddy Pimblett. And then Paddy fought someone, Jordan Levitt, where it was really just who had the better jiu-jitsu, as Levitt's not a good striker. Yeah, I'm going to say this is a step up. I think for Paddy, if he is not able to get this fight to the ground and take his back, he's going to be in trouble. You and I watched it live when King fought Jim Miller. He's got very good striking. He's durable. He's got excellent takedown defense, and he is tough. And that crowd is going to be yelling Paddy the Baddy all night, but the King isn't going to care. I'm very interested to see how this one goes. It should be a fun one.
Yeah, that's a tough and quick turnaround for Green, who we just saw at International Fight Week at the end of June. So in basically 1 month's time, he's going to go across the pond. Interested to see how the European markets bet Pimblett, considering he's probably going to take a lot of public money there. Thank you very much, Ian Parker. We will see you later in the week.